Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Sorry for a bit of the delay. I was trying to figure out how to get the music balanced with my stream. So still working on that. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right. I'm kind of like watching it on my phone and then trying to compare how loud the music is. Of course, the music stops now. But, you know, if you guys are in chat and it's too loud or too quiet, let me know. Because, you know, it's a little hard to tell just from my phone. So please let me know if it needs adjusted. But today, we're going to be working on similar stuff to last stream. So we're doing some warm-ups. And then we're going to work on the children's book. And then after that, we're going to do probably the Reggie animatic. And depending on the time we have left, we shall work on the recipes again, which is the hope. So these are drawings from yesterday, in case you missed it. Today so today's officially the new year. And so this is actually my like only New Year's resolution. And I wanted to like draw like better characters. So that's the plan for, I made like a file for this, but I don't know where I put it. The plan is to get good at character design. And so each month I'll study like kind of like a different subject, but in like that genre of what I need to learn. And so I'm starting with just kind of like breaking down really good character design from other artists. And mostly I got like Disney stuff here, who are honestly, they're the best. So I'm kind of like breaking it down and seeing how they do it. And then also like doing some, not really gesture drawing, but I am drawing like people and just doing it more simply. So rather than like the gesture, I'm kind of breaking down the shapes a little bit more. Because like a lot of the big pieces with these character designs, as I break them down, is that they're really basic shapes. So, you know, like mostly triangles and rectangles and stuff like that. And so what I need to do is learn how to better break down like poses into basic shapes so that I can later kind of exaggerate them and push them in directions that I want. But until I have like a better grasp on how to break down poses into basic shapes, it's kind of difficult for me to start doing that. So that is the plan. Learn how to break things down and then put them together in a more visually kind of like pleasing way. So I wanted to keep track of, let's see if I found it. I wanted to keep track of like every day. So January, I'm doing that. And then next month, I'll figure out what I need to do next. So I'm not going to worry about it because that's next month's problem. So I'm actually going to set a timer today. And we're going to do 25 minutes because yesterday I spent, I think, a little too much time like just doing these. I think I needed to kind of shorten it up a little bit so I can get more done. I'm gonna take a picture of these just to keep track. Technically this wasn't. But at the end of the year and even the end of each month, the plan is to be able to like look back at my drawings and see how far I've come and what I've learned in that time. So I'm going to this layer. What layer is this? Elephant. I think what I did is I actually drew. Which layer did I draw these on? The never-ending story. Me trying to figure out what layers I drew things on. We did the dwarf yesterday a fair amount. Today I didn't get around to doing Baloo, and that was kind of a crime, so we're gonna do that. We can move her, because don't want to get distracted. Alright, this reference, go We'll keep the geese and the elephant. What I might do, I'm gonna flip the elephant. And I'm gonna flip the geese. And then I'm gonna try doing them again. Alright. So let's grab a fun color. Let's do like dark green. Not that brush. That is not the one. This one? Maybe we change it up. How would this look small? No, not really feeling that actually. It's gotta feel right. This is an interesting one I made. But is this actually... It kind of has a nice... Hold up, I'm actually feeling it, guys. I like this brush. Boom, look how good that is. Elephant. Okay, we're gonna use this one. So we're not gonna start with the elephant though, because that's what we did yesterday, and I want to switch things up. So we're gonna start with blue. Let's go with... I want to do like the full poses. Perhaps what we're gonna do is put the reference above, and I'm gonna draw under it. I want to do some of these standing poses. Yeah, these are so good. So one thing I'm seeing here is, again, it's almost... Honestly, I see more of a triangle than a rectangle. But really, it's like this shape that we're getting. And even here, it's just bent. Here again. So that's like a good guide for... And then here we have this line. Bent down. Here, up. It's kind of like a good... So we know that we're going to be using those as our basic shapes. And then even here, it rounds out the bottom, but it's really like a triangle shape, but like a really tall one. In terms of the head, it's like it starts with... So you can do a circle, but there's also like, in terms of the nose part, it really just depends on the angle. But again, it's almost like a wedge here and here as well. And then we get like this circle making up. So I'm probably doing something like that. Those type of shapes. And then of course we got the ears. So let's do, I like this one. Let's do this one first. So it's getting like, I think what I'm gonna draw, it's like the center line. And move this. You guys let me, I realize I can't see chat. Okay, I gotta pull it up. I gotta layer everything. Everything just closed. Wonderful. Okay, we're back. I made a mistake. Okay, YouTube, go here. All right, back to what we were doing. Oh my gosh, my computer. Everything looks fine. I'm gonna put this here. There we go. That way I can make sure, I want to make sure I'm drawing on the part of the screen you guys can see. Okie dokie. Where were we? So we start with a basic triangle. And honestly, the arms are like little wedges as well. So it comes up. The head's almost like, there isn't really like a separation between the neck. It just kind of, like that's the head. And then the nose almost got like this type of thing going on. And the ears, we got little sprigs of hair up top. And so the neck starts where the neck would be, even though it's not really hidden. We're gonna see looks like the arms start not too far down from there as they slope outward. Looks like they kept the hands really simple in this pose. Not to like overcomplicate it, but here we see this arm's overlapping a little bit. Bit like that. And the legs remind me kind of how I did Sammy's, where like the main body is like this type of shape, but the legs are pretty small, but they're like wider. And so they don't, the end of the foot isn't too much further than the very bottom of like his belly, but we can see it starts further up. It's like here's like the top of the hip, and then it slopes down and it ends about there. And then we get the foot. This one connects. And this side is not getting blocked by his tummy, so we're going to see more of where the leg comes in to the body and the joint connects. Didn't actually draw in his foot here. I think I made mine more leaned, but I don't dislike that because I usually don't exaggerate the pose enough. So I kind of like, I like that. Let's do this one next. So here we're getting same like triangle shape, right? And we can mark out sort of the center of the torso. And then what am I seeing? I'm seeing the head. It's kind of coming up into the head like this. And then we get the hair. And then let's see what's happening here with the nose. So it comes into the face like this. And the mouth is open really wide. So we're getting kind of like, we're seeing the inside. And then we get a little bit of the jawline here. Honestly, drawing mine a little bit bigger, but that's okay. As long... So the arm, we're imagining it's kind of behind. Would be about there. It's facing forward. Here we see a bit more of the paw. Again, this actually, it's interesting seeing that this reminds me of how when I draw our character Sammy really quickly, that character's a mole and they have kind of hands and like claws that are kind of similar to a bear. And when I draw them quickly, it looks very similar to this. Kind of interesting. Okay, so this arm's coming out. And then it comes down like this. We get a little point at the elbow, which I like how they exaggerate it with little hair. And then the paw turns back like that. And so then we got this part of the arm. All right, we gotta make sure we get the ear on. It almost looks like it lines up where the nose starts. Let's do more of the hair. Honestly, it'd be really fun to like be able to draw. It might be fun to take blue and grab a reference of like a person. Like I feel like the proportions would be fairly easy to work into that pose and then try to use their guides to do that. Maybe we do one more and then I try that because we have 15 minutes left in warm up. That's fine. Okay, this pose is, this one's cute. I really do like this one. I really like this one. Obviously this one's amazing. I kind of want to do that. I want to try that one. But also this one. So let's be quick about it. Let's do... Maybe we don't do this one because I want to save time. So again, triangle. Up into the head, but we get a subtle slope. Kind of like what I was talking about yesterday, where they're so good at gradually changing the line work. And it just expresses, like it looks like his shoulders are like slumped down. It's very subtle. And we see a little bit happening over here before it comes out. The tummy. Let's shrink this down because I drew it too big. And again, like the neck just kind of goes into the head. And the head's pretty much round. And then for the nose, we're almost getting like straight on this type of rectangle shape. Put the mouth in. hair. Let's get those ears. It looks like it's lining up about with like the point here on the side of the nose. These are just like little things that I try to notice when I'm trying to copy a character. Like, it's the same thing with portraits. When you get the proportions right for the character, then they're definitely like recognizable. It's when those little things are off. So if I had put the ears not aligned the way it was, you're not going to recognize the character as easily, because whether we notice it or not, like those are the little things we recognize people by, or characters. Okay, mine looks a little mine looks a little goofy, but that's all right. I think I should have made the neck a little. I like it though. I think they made their shoulders a lot bigger though. So it'd be more like this and then down like that. I want to imagine the... I was trying to imagine how the arms would have been. Like, they didn't draw them in, but imagine it'd been something like... Probably something like that. Anyways, tell me a bit big. Kind of like what we got going there. Alright, let's do that other one. Let's do... What was I doing? I like this one up here. No, it was this one. Okay. Let me zoom out a little. It's gonna be a little hard because we are doing... Although I feel like I keep doing ones where he's facing that way. Let's do a one where he's facing to the right. Let's do this one. So it looks like we got triangle shape like this. A bend like that. Again, the tummy. This leg starts up here higher. We're seeing it more in front. It comes down into the foot, not too much further from the bottom. Let's start this up higher. And we get slightly sharp angle here, actually. This foot. And the claws are really simple. Just do a little couple lines. Okay, now the arms. These are part of what's going to balance out here. So we're going to imagine they're really just cylinder shapes. Into the head. Let's put the head in here. And then the nose. About like that. And then let's see what we got going here. This arm, they're kind of like, it's almost like his arms are kind of like he's crossing them. I think he's saying like, no. I kind of want to rewatch this movie. I have not watched it in a long time. So this paw's in front of this one. But here, like, you can absolutely see, like, this is like a little cone shape, pretty much. So if we could see through this paw, I'm trying to imagine, I'm seeing this shape. There we go. And then this one, it's like a little macaroni noodle. And then again, we get the cone shape for the, like the upper part of the arm is more like the cylinder. And then it tapers on the lower one. I guess they call it like the forearm. I don't know all the words for everything, but I just know how I know how to draw it. That's all that matters, right? Okay, let's see. Where were we? That's right. The ear. I like how they have the ear kind of like come in like this, and then we get the little hair. Eyes. Nose. Mouth. It's open. I think I need to make it open a little bit more, actually. Mine looks a little spooky. A little bit scary, but that's alright. I think I leaned it too far again, but I'm usually a little too hesitant, so I'm not too upset that that's how I did it. The blue almost has these markings that kind of separate the front part of his body. do this cone shape in here. I think I need to put this a little sharper. And this paw here. It looks like the eyes are pretty close together. I'm gonna draw mine like that. Not too bad. I'm not really seeing the other ear. Let's see if I adjusted just a little there. Let's try. I'm gonna regret this. With our remaining time, let's grab a reference off of Pinterest and try to get loading. Let's try to draw Baloo in that pose using... Alright, I'll be kind to myself. I'm not gonna choose anything too crazy. Let's do... I feel like I could see this one would be pretty easy. Oh, I don't know about the other arm. Alright, let me choose... Okay, this actually would be hard. I really shouldn't choose this one, but I'm kind of curious if I can make it happen. I like doing like the baseball poses. Like, can we do this? But Baloo. Can we make it happen? I don't know. Let's give it a try. Alright, so I'm seeing this triangle, so we're gonna keep that in mind. And then as far as the legs would go, Baloo would be more like that. And here's a foot. And then this arm, I think it would curve like that. Bring this one. You know what, guys? I think I got it. Oh, shoot. I was drawing on top of the image. Alright, let's see how far we can go back. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Make sure you guys can see properly. So we're getting like this. Actually, I want it to be more like this. So maybe we stretch it up on this side. A bit like that. So here about be the front. And then the head. So you guys can see properly. This, so the belly would be in front of this leg that's gonna come here. But it's gonna be about like that. Sharply down into here. So there's the 1 foot planted. But I think I'm gonna sit it back just a little bit more. Because it needs to be... Actually, I think it needs to come forward more. We need to make sure the balance is correct. So here we're getting like the very straight line. Pretty much up from there. So we need to balance it over this type of spot. Alright, good enough for the foot. With this leg, starting up at the hip joint. The paw, let's see how they drew. Probably just a bit like that. That's how they did the back foot. I'm gonna erase out these lines. So we're gonna work on erase this out so we can see a little bit better. The markings are kind of like this, and then they come all the way down. Okay, so this arm, this shoulder here, is gonna come in front. Let's see how we want. So the arm's coming out, and then the paw would curve back. So about here, let's keep it smooth. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of what they did. Smooth, and then where the elbow is, we're gonna stick a couple of the hairs out. Because when they're, like when you're doing these like animals and stuff, the like you're not getting a perfect like bend, like a very extreme like elbow point, and sometimes like they did, you can use the hair on the character to kind of like give you that point even though it's more of like a rounded style. Okay, so we got there, that arm. This one's gonna mostly be hidden. Even on her, we're seeing so like her elbow, but it's really mostly just the forearm you can see at that point. So a little elbow there. And then the paw. Like that. Okay, so for the head, it really just kind of comes up. And then the nose. Be a bit more like that. And so they keep the eyes small. And then we're gonna get a little hair on top like this. I make the cheeks. Okay, now for the bottom part. I feel like I keep making the nose a little bigger than it needs to be, but I kind of like that about his character. Alright, and then the rest of the mouth. Maybe we have him happy. I'd say it's not too bad. I think I made the head a little small. I think we could make it a little bit bigger. But in terms of the body, I think we really got... we kind of got blue here. I actually did it. Yeah, definitely need to work on... let's take a moment and study the face. So the eyes are pretty close together. That's the first thing that's kind of standing out to me. They're fairly small in comparison to the rest of the head. And we're getting like a little line underneath. It also looks like there's a kind of like separation of color between this point and the eyes are kind of just... here's the center line. Actually, I need to put it closer. The eye would be about like that. And I just use a point. And what do we got going with the eyebrows? Eyebrows aren't too long, but they're honestly pretty thick. So I made the hair pretty thick. Okay, made that a little bit too. I feel like that's a little closer. Again, this doesn't need to be perfect. And then inside looks like they have like these two teeth. Not too bad. Let's check our timer. Let's see where we're at. 12 seconds. Okay. Alright, it's time to move on to the book. We are warmed up. Let me take a screenshot for my file. Oh, actually, hold up. I have an idea. I was like, how do I keep track of the dates? January 1, 2026. Feels crazy to be writing that already. Although, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, that's like me every year. Like, it takes me like probably into April before I'm actually writing the dates correctly. All right, it's saved. Let's get going with the children's book. Just gonna save that. So, honestly, we cruised through a lot of drawings yesterday, which was great. And all right, I don't need this, but I do need that open. Keep chat where I can see it. I need files, children's book project. I just need to get the character charts out. I would love to have, I want to get the rabbit done, I want to get the Figgy done, and I want to get the turtle done. For sure. And then maybe we can start working on the next project. Or not project, the next page. Well, actually we could move on to the next project. It really just depends on how long it takes. So for these guys in the front, I think I was using a size 20 brush, wasn't it? I think I'm gonna do the Jamie the rabbit next. Oh, for these guys though, I was using a 10, wasn't I? Yep, 10. Okay, cool. Let's get started on those then. I'm just gonna pull character charts. Here we go. Doing Jamie. Where's Jamie's chart? Here it is. So glad I made these. Okie dokie. Yeah, Jamie's not being that helpful. Jamie's just kind of like sitting in there doing nothing. Just letting everyone else do the work, but you know, there's always one person like that in the friend group. And nobody really tells them to do anything. So that's exactly who Jamie is. The bunny ears in. I've had like the most trouble with the bunny, honestly. Trying to like draw it. I don't know why. I think it's the ears always throw me. Like I don't get the ears exactly right. Check my reference. So I don't usually have the head, the bottom of the chin. Like I usually draw like Sammy where it's not fully completed at the bottom where like the neck meets the rest of the body. But with this pose, because there's like a blanket in between, I kind of want to look like their chins resting forward more. So I decided to leave it like that. Okay, I can already see one problem. I drew this way too low. I'm not that high. Hold up. Let's see what we can do about this. Alright. It's a little bit better. Let's see. Head. And I'm gonna do the body first. I think I'm gonna do the the blanket roll last. And here. Yeah, the hand that I have, like the design for Jamie is very similar to the ducks that I draw. I'm like, this is much easier than trying to draw Figgy's hands. Because Figgy has like all the claws. Granted, I thought I could make it like, I could simplify it by making like it look cuter. But I didn't really want to do that because I want it to be more realistic to, semi-realistic to how like a mole would work. Because they need the big claws to be able to dig. Okay, here we go. This leg here. I think what I need actually is for this foot to stick out a little bit more. Let's put the foot in. There we go. Yeah, this rabbit's gonna be like pink. Kind of like a hot pink color. So they're low-key giving like, that's like the Energizer bunny. I'm hoping that it won't be like too jarring. We may have to make some decision changes. But so far the plan is to have this bunny be pink. There's something about a pink bunny. It just feels right. Like I know they don't exist in real life, but so if you're gonna have a bunny, I might as well make it a fun color. Okay, let's do the blanket. I kind of have it kind of like this. Okay, I realize it's not actually a blanket. What this is a sleeping bag. I don't know why I keep calling it a blanket. There we go. Looks like a cinnamon roll. I'm gonna get hungry again like yesterday, guys, where I was just like starving by the end of the stream, especially after drawing all the food. Actually, this would come out about here. I drew it to... Yeah, that looks right. A little too far. Let's do the face details. Like nose, mouth. Okay, the nose like this. Comes a little point. It's gonna be tough doing. These are like tiny details. Okay, we gotta go back to the body now. I'm gonna draw a bit of the tummy in here. Actually, I think I should have the leg look like it's sitting in front more like that. There we go. Let me fix the... Which layer did I put the eyebrows on? Oh, I put that with the head, didn't I? Yep, I did. I feel like this one. You should come down just a little. There we go. Let's give it a little flipperoo. How bad is it? It's not that bad. I think we could fix the eyes a little bit. Because I feel like they're not lining up with where they would be. Because the bottom always lines up with... This guy's little eyes closed. So cute. I'm struggling. Oh, shoot. Alright, let's flip this. On its side. And we'll put the eyebrows like this. I wonder if I made... Yeah, actually I think it looks right. I do think what I need to do though, just move it slightly up like that. Give it another flip. I think this leg is bothering me. To the side, let's move the blanket a little bit more like this. And then this leg, I think I'm gonna pull out a little bit more like that. Make sure my canvas is aligned. Oh, we broke a little bit of the hand there. Give it a little look-see. Other monitor. There we go. And maybe like, how does the tummy connect in? I think it's gonna be more like this leg because it's sitting forward more than not. All right, I say that's probably good. I'm not. I still feel like I need to bring this cheek up just a little bit. That's what's kind of bothering me. So it's just by a hair, but honestly, it's these the little things that will change a lot. Yeah, that looks better. It looks more like they're like happy, giving their, like when the cheeks lift up. Just looks more like smiling. Let's fix the arm. All right, done. Let's go. Who we got next? Biggie would come next. Since I'm moving right to left, or left to right. Oh my gosh. That was Jamie. And then where's my... Gotta hydrate, guys. 1 second. All right. Biggie. Same brush size. See, already I made a little bit of a mistake here on the head. And the hat usually starts a bit more over. Actually, I think I need to take it even more. I think I made a lot of mistakes with this little rough sketch, but I think there's something I can fix before I have to try and go back into the rough sketch to try and fix it there. I think I can just do it here. As long as I'm mindful enough. Like, I think I made the cheeks too wide, like come out too much. Let's check it once we overlap. Okay, so here's the problem. It's not supposed to be, so technically we're gonna have to go into the, this is how I draw the character. And I struggled doing this when I was, okay, I found the layer. Yeah, we are layers deep, everybody. Perfect. So, oh, what did I do? I need to actually lower this section of the head because it's a little bit less than 3. It's not exactly halfway where the like cheeks and the bottom of the eye is. It's actually more like that third. Let me get rid of, oh my gosh, where's that layer? I'm just gonna erase it so I can see properly. It's no sense struggling. Just go back and fix it. So more forehead than there is on the lower section in the cheeks. And then this part kind of like come in more. And then erase out there. The bottom of the eye. Cheek here. Like this is like, I'll only draw Piggy one more time after this. And it's interesting that still there's like, still some mistakes I make with the character. So even though you've drawn them how many times, there's still something you can learn from yourself. Okay, I don't also like hammer placement. I don't like we're getting this. We're getting like this tangent alongside the head. I have to figure out how I want to solve that problem. So the side of the hat comes to the top. And there we go. Side of the head. Eyebrows. Eyes. Side of the hat. I think I'm actually a bit more of an angle here. We're just gonna cut this all into one line. And then the hammer, let's make the hammer a bit more like that. That should fit just fine. I just like, I wanted there to be a space. Otherwise, it's just gonna look wonky and it's not gonna be very clear what's happening, especially since this pose is really far in the back. Silhouetting, making sure like the silhouette of the character is like readable is gonna be really important. Okay, there we go. All right, now we find the layer we were on before. This time for sure, guys. Also, we are having, like yesterday I was talking about while we were doing the recipes, the sauerbraten, and I was talking about like I need my mom to make like the gravy recipe to go with it. And so we're having it tonight, and I was asking her this morning, and she was telling me also that we do not put wine in it. So I was wrong, guys. I was thinking that because we do it with our turkey, but she does not put wine in the gravy. So good to know. I was like, we need all this written down. She was also telling me that she does it. if I ever tried, but what she does is she'll sear like the sides of the beef first before she starts slow cooking it after it's brined. And I was like, I did not know that. It's like, well, the more you know. I'm like, I'm pretty darn sure I would have forgotten that step. Like, I better have it written down somewhere. And she also made today. I can't wait to eat. It's gonna be so good because we're having the sour braten tonight, so it's cooking. And then she also made sticky buns, which I'm going to make also a wall art for that, because that is something. It's kind of like a cinnamon bun, but it doesn't have like the white sugar icing. It's more like kind of like a caramelized like sugar that's with like cinnamon, and it makes them like it's like all coated in it, which makes it sticky. So it's sticky buns, but it's not like a cinnamon bun. So there is a difference. And they are really good. Honestly, I like them better than cinnamon buns because I'm not big on like the typical, this is the hat layer, like the white icing that they put on the cinnamon buns. I mean, like, it's not bad, but it kind of just tastes like sugar. Like, it doesn't taste like much. And so I like the sticky buns better because it tastes just like, there's more like cinnamon flavor to it. Okay, hand like this. There we go. How we looking? Okay, not bad. Let's do the eyes. You know, the hardest one's gonna be the turtle. That's what's gonna happen. Let's see. I might have to restart the music. I think it's like only an hour playlist, so it's not that long. But I was trying to find ones that I could play on stream, and I was reading the comments. Nobody said anything about there being copyrighted songs in here, so yeah, it seems like everybody says it's fine, so I'm hoping it's all right. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, the eyes. That's right. Again, if the music is too loud or not loud enough, please let me know, and I can adjust it accordingly. What about there? Okay, we got the right size brush. There we go. Honestly, really excited for the weekend, guys. I feel like it's been a really long week, and I don't know why exactly. But I'm just like, man, I need the weekend. I mean, it's like I do usually work. So on Sunday, I do all the recording for my ducks, like my ASMR drawing stuff. So I usually end up working most of the day, but I don't have to exercise, so that frees up like 2 hours of my time. So it's pretty much like a half day off, but it's always nice to have a break. Because 7 days straight is way too much. Does that look right? Let's put in the body now, and then I'll do the pupils afterwards. Let's do actually to the hammer. Hammer here. Put it in first, and then try and get the hand correctly placed. Maybe I should just draw. I'm gonna draw this part of the hand actually up in front of the hammer here. I'm just gonna treat this all as one. Okay, so if it came straight, it'd be like here, there. Okay, so here also, this is what's wrong. Pinky is holding the hammer way too close. Like, there's no way they're gonna get enough leverage. The handle needs to go here. That's a little bit better. Granted, they're not a professional. Okay, now we do the body. Arm here. Match there, and then we get this part of the wing. This part of the wing here. Catches in. Boom. Okay, so we kind of, what I'm gonna do is shape this a little bit more so we see more of the shoulder in the front. Because I want to make sure that people know that the shoulder is up there. Swing in here. I think I may have made this one. Let's measure. Oh no, that's fine. I was worried I made the wing too long. I think it's the angle that makes it look a little different. Here we go. The belly here. And this leg starts there. Let's do the legs here. A different layer. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I feel like this music's like, it's upbeat enough that I can like work to it, but it's not too distracting. There was a time where I really didn't like lo-fi or like music like this. I don't really know why. Then I started to listen to it when I was doing like language studies in the morning. And I was kind of hooked ever since. But I haven't been doing that as much. So it's kind of nice to have another reason to listen to it again. There we go. Yeah, I usually listen to it like through YouTube because I don't really want my Spotify. Like I'm one of those people, but I'm very picky about like my Spotify wrapped being accurate at the end of the year. And if it's like, oh, you like your favorite genre is like lo-fi, it's like, well, it's not actually, it's just I happen to be like studying or whatever. So yeah, I try to just use YouTube, then it doesn't count. All right, add the tail. It's like a little heart shape. Very good. Don't look too bad. We're gonna see when we flip it though. Balls. All right, moment of truth. Actually, I should probably put the tent stake. When we were younger, I never went like camping, but we used to like set up a tent in the backyard and sleep in it, which kind of counted. But I have to say, like, I feel like maybe I would have enjoyed it more then, but there's like no part of me now that really wants to try camping. Like, I'm one of those people where like I need a proper place to like wash my hair and my face, and I don't want to be out in the bugs all night. Yeah. I'm just not like, I understand why people like it, but I think I'm a little bit of a princess like that, where it's like, I'm good. Not for me. Just nope. I don't think so. Just not really here for it, you know? But I mean, I guess it could be kind of fun. Well, I like to hike, right? Like, I like to hike. I just don't... Wait, hold up. I gotta pay attention. What am I doing here? I don't want to spend like the night out in the woods, you know? Like, you go for a hike and you come back, you shower, you clean the bugs off of you. But with camping, you don't really have that. Yeah, can't say I'm really into it. Okay. How's that? Looks good. But it does, like, I think when you're a kid, you don't really care about those things, you know? So this doesn't look bad, actually. Did I flip it yet? No, I did not. Yeah, I remember one time when I was a bit older, me and my sisters wanted to camp. So we did it again in like the front yard. I think I was like 16. I don't know. And our one cat was just going wild and he was like jumping against the side of the tent, and there was some bird who was just like making so much racket all night long. And so they kind of were angry, but I left and just went to bed. I think it was like at most I made it to midnight. I was like, no, ain't no way. So both my sisters stayed, but they did not get any sleep. And I was like, I'm so glad I didn't stay. Like, I need sleep. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be a happy person. And I'm not gonna waste it. Precious sleeping hours. Being held awake by a bird, you know? And I'm also like, so I have to like play a fan sound to try and sleep. Like, I'm so needy when I'm trying to sleep. But I'm one of those people that struggle with falling asleep. So like, sleep is a precious commodity for me. Okay, I'm seeing some things that I don't like about this pose. Let me make sure the measurements are right. Measurements are right. He just feels... his head feels off. Let's change that. I think what happened is I made the head too wide. I'm always doing that. But like this. Okay, not a little bit wider than that. And then this cheek here. I redraw this center line here. Gotta fix this. Yeah, but like I was saying though, I do like campfires. Like I like having campfires. Like I do enjoy that. But I have to I get attacked by mosquitoes. Like you would not believe. So I have to like completely cover up. Like even if my ankles show a little, like where my pants and like between my pants and my socks, like there's like that much skin showing, I get bit. It is not great. And I don't like using like bug sprays. Like I hate using the poison bug sprays. Like I don't want that on my skin. Like who knows what that's gonna do to you, you know? There we go. That looks a little bit better. Let me check. I almost wonder if I need to lift the head a little bit. Oh. It was subtle, but I think that may have made a difference. Okay, what do I do here with the neck? I don't really have this type of angle. So more like it ends there. Okay, there we go. Boom. Yeah, for the mosquitoes suck. They're the worst. So that's like definitely an upside of winter. But it's like I'm not outside to even enjoy not being eaten by mosquitoes. So I don't know. It's kind of a win-lose, you know? I think I need to push this head back a little. I think I drew it too extreme of an angle. There we go. Let's actually flip this around here. Bro, this is not ideal, actually. The point of the head here is kind of bothering me. I just soften this up a little bit. I think what I might want to do is put the center line. His eyes also more like that. The nose. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me still. Because I can't really tell you exactly what's off. I think it might be the eyes. No, they're about right. Let's check the proportions. Oh, okay, here's the problem. So the head's narrower. And we did the same thing with... Make sure I'm doing this right, everybody. Let me see. I need there to be less space here on the bottom. The forehead section is larger. And then let's soften these angles out a little. And the nose starts about here. There. Alright, let's flip it again. A little better. Just a wee bit better. Okay, so here's our center line. And she could come out here. And then it angles down like this. Maybe I'm just being too... Am I being too nitpicky on this one? The other ones were fine. I just don't know why this one's giving me so much trouble. Well, I did kind of predict it though. The turtle is always the hardest to draw. Flip it again. Alright, let's go for it with the regular line work. I think I promise I've been making the head too pointy, and it's not that pointy in the character chart. It's pretty rounded, and only the cheeks point out. There we go. Alright, let's bring this eye over just a bit. Yeah, that seems good. Alright, let's give it a go. And we use the size brush. Was I doing 20? Yep, 20. Which this may give it a totally different feel. Also just remember that I have to go back and adjust the line width on the previous drawings. So I'll be taking you guys really back in time. Because I was pretty much actually done by the time I started streaming doing these books. Or this book. So you guys didn't get to see the beginning. Which is probably best because it was rough going at first. Trying to figure out like art style and how I wanted to do it. That is separate. Do. I don't know why, but today feels like Friday to me. Also, it's New Year's Day. Is that like a holiday people get off? I don't really know. Like, is that a thing? I'm sure it is. I feel like people would definitely want it off, especially if you had to stay up that late. Yeah, if you were like partying, that would be kind of... Well, you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to, and you just have to sleep. Which would kind of suck. Unless you're the kind of person that'd be sleeping anyway. Alright, I'm gonna add the shell, and then I go on the same layer. I'm also gonna draw more on the inner part of this than I did in the rough sketch, because I want to actually make it a little smaller. There we go, shell. Trying to keep the width consistent. Oh. Yeah, so the next couple of my silly duck drawings, I was like, Emma, next month, like, sure, the subject you chose, like, isn't gonna be easy. Because I'm gonna be doing, like, a bunch of different characters from, like, games and movies and, like, celebrities. But duck version. And I was like, that won't be too hard. I'll just keep it simple, you know? But then before you know it, like, I've gotten to the point where I want the backgrounds to look good too. And sometimes on the duck, it's just on, like, a white background. It doesn't really make, like, the coloring of the rest of the duck. It just doesn't, like, blend, you know? And then, you know, before you know it, like, 3, 4 of the ones I've drawn already have, like, really difficult backgrounds. And I somehow have to fit that into, like, a 40-second video. So, yeah, that's kind of hard. I don't know why I do that to myself. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes, because Sunday I have to start recording the new ones. And it's gonna be a lot of work. I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Okay, so I feel like I made... Wait a minute. I do these fingers right. This arm is way too big. It'd be more like this. And like that. Yeah, I made their arms way too big. That's okay. That's easy enough to shrink down. Let's just do it right now. I don't think I have to worry about redoing the rough sketch. I think I'll be able to just make the adjustments now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the turtle actually has slightly more human-like hands. I mean, like, I could have done, because I know turtles have kind of like, not claws, I guess like little talons. I don't know what they're called on turtles. But I decided to go with... There we go. I wanted them to be more like gentle looking. Trying to make the turtle look a little more cute. Legs layer. Also, I think I made the legs too big. Let's just shrink. Let me look at the reference here. They get wider, but it would end probably more like here. We're seeing the bottom of the foot. Bit like this. I almost drew them a little bit how like an elephant looks. I kind of stole that from some other like turtle designs I'd seen, or how people drew turtles. Like learning from the best. I think I also referenced a lot from the like the Robin Hood, the Disney Robin Hood with the animals, because it's probably one of my favorite like turtles, like the way they drew them in that movie. There we go. Okay, so this leg probably about here. The knee. And then the toes. Okay, the toes are gonna be sticking like this. Not sure I'm in love with this, actually. It's hard trying to get this turtle to sit, you know? Because they have like the shell that would be in the way. So this is kind of my interpretation of how it would look. Like, I don't know actually how they're propping up. They'd probably flip over. Because turtles, they don't sit. 4, 5. So for the bottom, I think what I was doing was like, because the brush is so thick, I don't know how I want to do this. I drew it a lot thinner, you can see in the rough sketch, which that's because I thought that I was going to be just using that line width for all of it. I didn't think about varying it, but it just makes so much more sense to vary it depending on which direction I want to be like pulling the audience and which characters are forward more and which ones aren't. So probably wouldn't see this foot. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think once I flip this, I'll have a better idea of what I did wrong. We're kind of too much into it. Once we flip, yeah. This, let's make this angle sharper. And there we go. All right, let's flip it. It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. All right, it looks a little wonk. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what we can do about this. I think it's mostly... Oops, that's the highlighter. I think it's mostly... Let's see how it looks. If I just do... like, no toes. Like, is it the toes that are throwing me? Because I can honestly say I don't like them. Like, right now... What if this leg was more like planted? Right, so this one we get like at an angle. What if it was more like turned like that? Right, the turtle's legs aren't actually that long. Let's flip it again. We gotta rethink this, guys. It's the great tragedy of the turtle's legs because this... Let's finish the shell. Let's imagine where the shell would... Size 20 brush. Let's kind of draw this through and then figure out how we want to attach the legs in that part. There we go. And then we'll problem solve it from there because I need to figure out where the rest of the body is, like position wise. Go. Alright, so we have... Let me check my character sheet to make sure everything is lined up. So center line... About center of the shell. It's about here. The legs would start much further below that. So maybe like here. And then this one, we're gonna have it go probably this direction. Like that. I don't know, guys. Why is this being such a problem? And then this one. Maybe more like that. Do. Because it kind of does. Okay, what if it needs lowered a little, but the knee would be like sticking up a little, like this, and then this leg. Here's the knee joint, then this foot would be about here. I'm gonna rotate this a little because they are leaning forward kind of towards the campfire. They're putting the marshmallow on the stick. And then maybe what we do is take this leg down more. Like that. And then... Okay, leg. I like it better. It's just... Let's put the toes in here. I don't know, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How are we gonna get the toes to work on this? Because they're partly... Right now we gotta get rid of the shell under here. I think we're onto something. It's just not... I don't know. I was doing so good. We were cruising along. The leg comes like this. And then this is more like... The knee comes like this. Into that shape. So the center of the foot, this would be like the middle toe. And then 1, 2, 3. Let me put it down here. Okay, you know what we gotta do? I need to reference how I did the foot before, because I had them sitting similar to this. Okay. Oh. So I did draw it actually very similar to what I'm doing now. Which, was that a good idea? I don't know. It's not a bad idea. It's just not... In this pose, it's kind of looking... It looks ugly to me. I don't know what it is. It's because all the other drawings, like, I'm satisfied with. Okay. Join that in there. And then... Let's get rid of this shell under here. Also, this is like a tangent because it looks like it's connecting up to the other part of the shell. How do we bend that? All right, new idea. What if that would make sense? Guys, so I just put this turtle on hold. Maybe I should. You know, sometimes it's good to just walk away and come back another day and hope and pray by then you have some better ideas. Because right now, I don't like any of these. Because if I do the leg, like same here, hold up. What if I do it like this, but instead of like this character over here, the pigeon is sitting on the ground? What if the turtle is sitting like on a log or something, which would sit them up higher and then their legs would hang more naturally, since it's hard to bend their short little legs at an angle like that. I'm thinking this might be the strat. So let's do the log. Show. It'll be like that. We're gonna have to reposition them a little because they're gonna be sitting up higher. As long as it's not interfering with what we got going up here. We also need to fix this perspective. Because... Okay, so the ground is kind of like this. I'd say it's probably coming from out here. About this angle. And so they're sitting on a log. It's probably gonna look something like this-ish. And then we'd have grass. Okay. I'm seeing it. Let's do the turtle. But do you think it's weird to have the turtle sitting so much higher? I don't think so. Let's lower the opacity on this. So Shell's gonna be like behind. Erase that. Let's also not erase, but let's remove that. And go back to the legs. So it'd be like legs here. Let's sit more like that. Oh, we'd see a bit at the bottom of the foot. That's kind of cuter. I don't know. That's actually... It's not bad. Eyes. The legs, I think they would attach up a little further. So a little knee. Twitch. And then the toes would be like that. I'm still gonna let this idea cook. I don't want to make any finalized decisions on this until I've thought about it. Because the legs do still look a little bit funny. Maybe they need to be bent down more. Something like that. Yeah? No. Probably be a bit more centered like this. And then the shell. Bit more like that. Let's go back to the log. I gotta have the log be a bit bigger. Maybe. Or maybe instead of a log, I should have them sitting in like a camping chair. But I don't think I want to do that to myself, if I'm being honest. I think that would be even harder. The hard part is like, does this shell need to go behind? And then it's like, how are the legs? Yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave this one because it's just not. It's not coming together, so I'm gonna take my advice. I'm gonna come back to it tomorrow. And we're gonna work on the page that comes after this. We'll turn back on the rough sketches. Let's make sure all these... Okay, and we're gonna do the next. Hold up, everybody. This is pages Wait, where's the next one? Oh, that's the one where they're sitting on the bench. Okay, so that's 30 to 31. It's gonna be 32. 33. Take a little screen capture of it. Put it in here. Let's sit on the bench. Then we get these ending shots here. Let me pull out the file. I have another file for the next page. Book illustrations. Yeah, 30. Then I'm having more, so this will be actually 30. That was 33. 32. I think I actually named the layers wrong, but technically these are 33 and 34. These ones here. Oh, okay, hold up guys. I totally forgot. I draw them quite a few times more before we close out the book. I was thinking all we have is this scene left here, but it is not. Okay. Let's get the layers in order. What do we got going here? I don't need these layers. These are like original sketches. I don't need that. Frame. Okay, these are the background rough sketches. Let's name that background. Yeah, I always feel like really close and then suddenly very far from finishing. Rough character redraw. So they pass down these. Okay, and now we're gonna do, let's do Sammy first. Shammy. And we're gonna start with the head. Place it up straight. This brush size honestly feels right. So I'm just gonna stick with the 20. It almost looks like I did. I think I need to make the head a little wider here. Yeah, slowly I'm getting better at consistency, but man, it's really hard. Okay, cheeks are here. Make sure I can see properly. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be, where it doesn't go all the way. Take a look, see. I think I may want to lower or raise this line actually. That seems okay. Once we get in the rest, we can kind of see what's off. The body. Let's measure. This almost feels... Now the proportions are right. Cool. I think it's because the line work's very small. That almost looks like... Because Sammy's only 2 heads tall. It almost looked like it was a little bit more, but... It actually looks okay once I measured it. Okay, and add the stomach in. Yeah, I thought these scenes were really cute because it's kind of just like slice of life moments. There's no text and just kind of like them having fun together again, and then we just get the end. Just kind of like nice closure. Because it just felt like to leave it on that last scene where they're just sitting on the bench. Like it just didn't feel right. Like I wanted to give. We got the one page where they're cooking, then camping, and then we get this one and then we get the final page. Like I just wanted to have the right closure, you know? And I'm like, well, what's a few more illustrations? I think I'm already up to 30 something. And it's no, I don't have like a deadline, so just whenever, since it's a passion project. But I feel like streaming's been good because, you know, it's kind of keeping me a little bit more like locked into putting the more hours into it. Like I feel like when I'm not streaming, I wasn't like, I would work on it until, you know, I started to get burned out. But this way, I feel like I don't get burnt out as much because I'm not, I don't know, I'm just not as, I guess I have other things to think about, or, well, like I can talk to you guys about it. So it helps, I think it helps me stay awake. Maybe that's it. Especially when you're doing like the line work, like this is not really fun, so to speak. Like the fun part was when I did the rough sketches and like planned everything out and like the story really came to life. Now coloring, that's gonna be a challenge, but it's gonna be fun. It will. I'll probably regret saying that, but it's gonna be more fun than doing line work. Line work is tedious, but necessary. Or at least it is in this art style anyway. I would like to try doing like an art style that didn't require line art. That would be kind of interesting to kind of see how my style would end up looking. Like, I don't know. That would be kind of interesting to see. Like, how would I approach that? I definitely think I would make some more textured brushes. And I would use the lasso tool a lot to kind of like shade things. That's kind of how I've seen other people do it. So, not bad. The glasses. Actually, eyes first. So I put the eyes a little too high. I was just trying to exaggerate the, like how happy they were. But it doesn't need to be that extreme. Otherwise it looks a little weird. Here we go. And do this up here. Ba, ba, ba. And I'm hungry, guys. I have to like get a snack at some point. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I've been trying to like up my exercise to where like try and get my heart rate up more, and then I'm also lifting more like weight. And so I feel like I wonder if it's just like because I'm getting more muscle, that's why I'm hungry all the time. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm not like an athlete. I shouldn't need that much food. So I'm like, I might need to like lift less weights because I don't think I can afford to feed myself the amount of protein I'm gonna need. Yeah, so if you guys ever feel bad about not like working out, just remember that like, you know what? It's a lot easier for like celebrities to do because they can afford like the best foods and like protein powder, and they have like people help plan their meals, and it's a lot easier than when you're trying to do it all on your own. So never feel bad because, you know, you can't compare to them. That's a big leg up. At least that's what I tell myself. Okay, this is cute. Glasses. Yeah, I like jumping rope and I want to learn like more tricks. But I was trying to learn the one where like you're jumping and then you like cross over, like that type of thing. I kept hitting myself in the face, and I was like, you know, maybe I wasn't meant to do tricks, but I still wanna, I feel like that's not like an official New Year's resolution, but low-key, I would like to actually be able to do some more tricks with the jump rope. I'm like, do I just need to wear a helmet? I need like a football helmet or like a motorcycle one that has like the shield in the front. Then I could practice it. Then it wouldn't matter how many times I hit my face. Like maybe this is what I need to do. The problem is like there's so many people who make like shorts and reels and they're like, here's how to do it. And it's them like, they explain it in like 15 seconds. I'm like, I'm gonna need a lot more than that. I need like a 15-minute video and a lot of verbal instructions. And then also a section of like common mistakes. Because you better believe I'll be making all of those. Yeah. The kind of difficult. And like I'm like, I've gotten better, but I have a really hard time like watching someone do something and then copying it. Like I physically really struggle. Like I'm not that well coordinated. Like always just a little bit awkward. It's gotten better since I do like line dancing, but still it's a struggle. Pupils. Okay, I feel like the biggest tragedy is when like you're blowing bubbles when you're like a kid and you don't realize how it's gonna work, but you see like the bubble wands that are like different shapes, and like in your mind you're imagining like star shapes, heart shapes, a square bubble, and then you blow in it and it's just round. I don't know, kind of, it's those moments where you really feel let down. It's like, why lie to us? You made the shape and then it doesn't do it. It's like the biggest letdown. So that's why I made all of these. They're round. So you get what you expect. Like, what if there are kids reading this book? I don't want them to go through the same trauma I went through. Okay, made the wand handle a little big. We're gonna just roll with it because somehow Sammy needs to be able to hold it. And if it's too small, then they're not gonna be able to. Also, it's tough because technically at this angle, you really wouldn't be seeing too much at the inside. I wonder. I don't usually like doing this, but I'm gonna make the inside line work slightly smaller. And like this. It overlaps a little. There we go. Don't usually do that, but in this case, we're making an exception because I want it to be believable enough. So doing a 15. No, I was doing 20, I believe. Okay, handle. There we go. All right, let's move on to, because this looks fine. Let's move on to Figgy. So kind of frustrated that I couldn't get the turtle to look right, but you know, it's all right. Gotta restart the music again. Yeah, it's going on 4 already. Sheesh. Maybe we go to 4 and then move on to Reggie. Because we're so close to getting Reggie done. I really just want to have... I want to have that finished, you know? Wait a minute. I make this brush bigger. Yep. Hold up. Okay, head. I think I made the head too wide. That was like the trend on this side. You know what? I'm gonna go till 4 and then I'm gonna get T and then we're gonna do Reggie. Because I need a cup of tea. The air doesn't feel as dry in my room today. Even though it's like colder outside. If there's no wind, my room doesn't get as cold, so I don't have to worry about putting the heaters high. I actually have it pretty low. But I still need some tea. Draw the hat. Curves into here. In the back. Boom. Okay. Name that layer, save it. Did I save this page? Yes, I did. Honestly, we don't need to open it anymore. Alright, this layer. I'm gonna raise this up just a little. Just a tiny bit. And bring it in on this side. Do, 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 do. How's it looking? Not bad. But it could be better. There we go. And this will be the beak. Okay, trying to make the beak look like they were blowing bubbles was very difficult. This is what I came up with. Does it look a little goofy? Yes. But I kind of like it, so I just went for it. Eyes. Blowing the bubbles. The bubbles. Alright, the wand. And I did... Let's do a 15. And I guess I should have done the body first, but here we are. We don't have to do it by the books. Just work on whatever part feels right next. Okay, maybe I redraw Sammy's? Because the 15 size brush seemed to look... It's not me just drawing and then constantly Control-Zing. Okay, it seems fine. There we go. Oh, you know what I should have added, actually? Is we need, like, a bubble. Actually, like, being blown out. There we go. Bubble. Then let's do body. Size 20 brush. There we go. Change the shoulder here a little bit. Yeah, this illustration, I think I will also create into a coloring book page as well as like a full illustrated page that I want to get printed and like framed. So I just feel like it's really wholesome. Also do the end, like this one over here. He's playing in the tree. Okay, put in the back here. I'm gonna put the tail in a separate layer. Okay, measured that. That was not too long. There we go. And arm seems about right. Alright, let's do the legs next. We got 5 minutes. We can finish Figgy up in 5 minutes. Right? I think so. It shouldn't be too hard. Of course, if we run into the same problem I was having with the turtle, it could be a long time. Okay, this foot here. This foot's a little bit... I think I made it a little too big. Yeah, last night I didn't intentionally stay up to see the clock change, but I was like going to put my phone down because I was watching dramas. And I was like, it is 11:59. I'm like, if I just wait a couple seconds, I can see the clock change. And so I did actually end up staying up. Probably shouldn't have. That's why I'm tired today. It's like you kind of expect something to happen when it does, but you're just kind of like, it's nothing changed. I didn't even hear, like, normally, I think last year there was like fireworks some of the neighbors were putting off, but there was like nothing. I was like, yep, it's just another day. I don't know, like, I feel like there's a lot of hype that it should feel special, and then when it doesn't, it's a little like the bubble ones that look like stars, but then you just get a circle. Where it's like, oh, it's not special. I don't know, it's a little... Hold up. I don't like this here. I don't like the wings. I think I need to change this angle. And then maybe that. That looks a little better. Let's flip it. Put it through. Let me straighten my canvas out. Actually, Photoshop just freaked out. Let's see how it looks off of the line art. I actually genuinely like it. Only thing I'm gonna change is the tail. Where'd I put the tail? I'm just gonna raise it a little. There we go. Do. And like Sammy, I don't know, guys. Do I need to change the eye direction maybe? Let's check that. What if I had it more like this? That's kind of cuter. The hard part is the eyes is like, I don't want them like guiding you off the page. But they are looking at the bubbles, which are... That's looking over too much. They're like upwards, so... You know? We can't have it... Like, you can't always perfectly direct that. I mean, on the upside, like this page, it's more like, it's like filler illustrations just to show them having good time together rather than actually like guiding us to the next page. So I don't think it matters that much. All right, everybody. 1 minute to spare. Let's get Blender going. Blender. Let me save these. Close Photoshop. Don't need that right now. We also need to get the Pura file out for Reggie. Loading. It's a never-ending loading. Okay. Reggie files. I need to change that because I put it in my 2025 files and definitely did not finish them in 2025, so they're going to be moving into 2026. Alright, we got these going. And then Blender. Where are you? Here you are. I wish I could drink coffee, guys. But it's too late. Tea might help. Maybe just drinking something will wake me up. Okay. Blender is loading. Here we go. I got the files open so I can see. Character charts. Seems. Alright, where were we? We were... So we had Reggie reaching. Reggie has anime tears, which I decided to keep. Then it goes black. Then it fades back. We get Reggie here, and I know I was talking about making the tears on the ground. Do I do it? I don't know. I could. Okay, let me find... I'll show you guys an animatic. Which one? Practice stuff. Maybe the one I did. Okay, well actually there's the burning ship concept. Where is the finished one for that? It shouldn't have any sound. How did I put it on loop? Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get tea. You guys watch this. I'll be back. This is essentially what I'm gonna be doing with the Reggie. Because there is not any 3D in it. And this board I did here, this animatic was one where I wanted to draw like, it's the first one where I used no 3D elements. Some of the other ones I did was like 2D and 3D. So this one was all 2D, so backgrounds and stuff. It was a bit of a challenge back then. I feel like with Reggie, it doesn't really feel any different for me. Sometimes it's actually harder when you're trying to work within the 3D environment. So yeah, but the concept for this one was it's called The Burning Ship, and it's about people who ask for help and advice, and you try to help them and they just don't listen, and they keep asking you for help and asking you to do things for them, and it never seems to be enough, and they just want more and more from you, but they never want to put in the work themselves. And it's about setting boundaries and letting people burn their own ship if they do not want to put in the effort to save it themselves, because you can only take care of your own ship, can't take care of everybody else's. So this one's kind of like from personal experience. It would kind of be funny to make a children's book with this similar concept. I would like probably flesh out the characters a little bit better, like make the designs better, but honestly this could be a children's book. That'd be kind of fun, like kind of like mental health concept. But yeah, I'm gonna grab some tea and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Psyduck was kind enough to hold my seat for me. Make sure their bucket hat doesn't fall off. And I can keep Psyduck. I'll ship them somewhere. We are going to... You know what, Psyduck can just sit here if they'll fit. We're gonna work on this until 5, and then, you know what? It's a holiday today. I'm gonna quit an hour early, and I'm gonna help my mom cook dinner. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're on to the last scene, which is crazy. Like, how did we get here already? But this scene is not gonna be an easy one, because there is a hand in it, and every artist knows this is the worst nightmare. The hand. Oh no. It's Reggie's worst nightmare. Alright, not the smoothest ever, but you know what? Those are the roughs. So let's get to the end. Turn back on single playback. How do we want to break this down? First, we're gonna distinguish what layers we... Okay, we've got... Not sure what I was thinking, but I put it all on one layer. Not a terrible problem. It doesn't matter because it's the rough. We're gonna put it pretty light. So I wonder... I kind of want Reggie to look back before... Well, that was takeoff stroke. I want Reggie to look up first. Be like, what? And maybe Reggie's not like so much scared right now. Maybe Reggie's just sad, right? Because Reggie's all alone, but there's no immediate danger. And then Reggie's sad. Maybe we'll just have like... This is where we can do the puddles of tears that I was kind of talking about. Crying, crying, crying. And then what? Maybe the tears dry up a little because they're like, huh? And maybe this little flipper will come down a little because they're kind of letting down their guard. They're like, huh? I'm getting a little... What? Maybe not quite as serious as I have here. Maybe we keep the tears because they need to realize first they notice something. They look a little like this. And then maybe we get the turn. Then this is something I'm trying to get better at, guys. Where I want more of my characters reacting properly in time. So they have a turn. They face straight on, but the eyes like looking this way. Oh, actually, I have a better idea than what I have originally. I want Reggie to turn here. They're gonna see... At first, it's like, what? And then they're gonna see the hand. Then they're gonna be scared, and I want Reggie's gonna get up. And then Reggie's gonna be like backed against this wall. Like this. Very scared. Screaming for their life. as the hand comes in, and Reggie just keeps like trying to back up, but they're against the wall. And then the hand comes in. I like that a lot better. Before I just had like, oh no, and they barely move, but it's the movement that gives it a little bit more life. And I wanted to have that. So here, like, we'll see the tears dry up a little. Still in the puddle, though. Puddle of tears. And they're like, oh no. I don't know why, but Reggie looks a little like a beaver here. What could it be? And then, oh, hold up, my tea. Let me fix my tea. Yeah, I don't know if they're... It would be really fun to watch, like, more people storyboard live. Maybe they are people doing it. I actually need to do some research. But I would love to watch other people and see how they kind of do it. You know, because I feel like I need to... Like, I've streamlined my workflow a little bit, but I feel like it could be better. So, you know, by watching other people, it's really easy to kind of like learn new ways to do things. Ah. That's still really hot. Okay. Alright, so we get Reggie. Tears flowing. They start to notice something. They look. What could it be? And then, okay, I drew this scene too quick. This is what I want to have happen, though. Then they're gonna be like... spooked. Hold up, we gotta fix this stroke. Ba, ba, ba. Wall's there. Puddle of tears. I'll make my brush a little bigger. So maybe have them turn. So Reggie's head's gonna come up a little bit more. Actually, probably more than that. As Reggie starts to like stand. I'm gonna have their little feathers together. Little, not feathers, their wings. And then... what could it be? Did they see? At what speed do I have the hand come in? Maybe like this frame, they finally realize it's like a hand or a person. And then they can get spooked. Or maybe in this one, they're still a little unsure. So I don't have Reggie completely terrified. Maybe Reggie's more like, what? Maybe something like that. The little feet. But I feel like I can scale. I actually need to scale Reggie up a little. So let's do that. So Reggie's gonna... let's check the frame before. The bottom's about there. Ba, 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 ba. What if I had them turn too much? Maybe still go for the angle where it's kind of like that. So turned a little, and then we'll do a full turn when they finally figure out what's gonna happen, because they see a hand, and then we get the full turn. It's about there. Camera's not pulling out anymore, so I can use this as size reference. And then maybe do like oh no. The feet here. Let's run it back. Poor Reggie's really been through it. Maybe I don't want the hands up by the face. Maybe we just go... let's see how fast. Mostly it's shadows still for a while, so I think I'm gonna still go with this type of thing. So here, Reggie, Reggie knows. It's the hand reaching in. I'll have it a bit more. I gotta stop using an eraser that big. I should be looking down a little bit more. Do turns a little, standing up straight. Then erase Reggie out here. Alright, let's do point because I need. And Reggie's gonna back up. Bit more. Getting a bit more of a stronger profile angle. The bill's probably gonna stick out like this. Reggie's gonna be very scared. With the little arms up. And let's put the feet in here. Like, oh no. Trying to get backwards. But Reggie is trapped. Get that back in the puddle. The tears. Although it looks like poor Reggie was so scared they wet themselves. Honestly, it could be both. Poor Reggie. It's just a little penguin. And there we go. Let me add the wall back in here. And then here. Yeah, I just want these to... This is the last scene, so I'm really glad that I kind of changed up my plan. So Reggie's further against the wall. Maybe they like as they backed into the wall, like they kind of fall down. No, poor Reggie. And then maybe what I have is so Reggie like backs into the wall, kind of starts to slump down, and then right before the hand grabs, like here, Reggie will like turn away like that. That way it's not just like Reggie up against the wall the whole time, because that might be kind of boring too. These little feet in here. And then we're gonna get... Let's erase this out. So Reggie was about here-ish. Maybe they put their flippers back up. Oh no, they're screaming. And then the body's kind of at an angle. This foot would be like this. Right, I realize this might be a little hard for you guys to see, but these are just the roughs. As long as I understand what's happening for me to do the next stage. I'm not in a pipeline, so I don't have to worry about making these too perfect. This is more just for me. Because if I had to hand these off to someone and they were like, what the heck's happening? I would not blame them. It's like, ah. Backs into the wall. Hand comes in. Maybe I kind of want the arms. Maybe we should have like they bump into the wall type of thing. And then I know they can't get away. Then they slip out. They slide. The little feet. Made that foot too big. Turns away. In the next frame. So I have them in the hand in this frame. I wonder if I want to add another one. Oh wait, I got it. Okay, here's what we do, guys. They grab Reggie. Reggie's little arms are down. And then we have maybe Reggie like looking up over their shoulder. See, Reggie probably a bit bigger than fit in the hands. The actual plushie is actually pretty tall. It's taller than my Psyduck plushie, if I remember right. I think it's about this tall. So I am making Reggie smaller because I just thought like around like palm size would be kind of cute for the character. And just make them a little bit more like portable. So I'll have to remember that when I start doing like the next scenes where Reggie finally meets Joe. Turns, grabs Reggie. Reggie's little flippers are holding onto the ground for dear life as Reggie gets pulled away. Do we have Reggie looking back, or do we have Reggie looking towards... I think I want to have Reggie looking, because I want the focus to be on heading that direction. Let's play it back. Crying. Huh? What could that be? What? Uh-oh. Oh no! Reggie tries to get away. Reggie slides. Okay, we need it in between here, guys. Between this and this. So how do we want to do that? Let me just duplicate this one. Let me extend the scene. We gotta think about how this is gonna look in terms of like between here and here. What's happening? So I think what I'm gonna do is the hand needs to come in more. Obviously, it's gotta move closer. We got the wrist here. Let's run it back. Bump, bump. Oh, shoot, guys, I always do this. I did the wrong one. That's alright, we can just flip them. In. The hand. So we're gonna need a new Reggie pose here, which is what I think I'm gonna do is have Reggie turn even more. Yeah, let's have Reggie turn away even more, because poor Reggie's trying to get away. I mean, Reggie's not gonna get anywhere, but Reggie's gonna try. So maybe like looking like, man, these are rough, guys. I'm feeling this out. We also need the shadow to move. Otherwise the effect doesn't feel right. These don't move. Oh shoot, I keep doing the wrong scene, guys. Lock it in, Emma. Okay, select these, this. Bring it forward. Bring that back. Alright, let's get more serious about this penguin drawing. This needs to work. I want the wrist to come in. These are like my roughest. Hand comes in. Thumb. Like here. Reaching to grab Reggie. Turn at angle. These fingers are gonna come down because now they're grasping. Oh, let me get my point eraser on. Grasping at Reggie. Reggie's gonna be... Reggie's body was about there. Have Reggie try to get away. The bottom was about here. Question is by having Reggie turn too much, is it gonna look awkward? That's what we're gonna find out. Reggie just looks like a giant ball at this point. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, now actually, if we do it this way, I think it'll be alright to have Reggie be not looking this way. Maybe more like... Now, I kind of want them... I still want Reggie to be scared, actually. Very scared. Okay. Shadow's going this way in the scene. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Like this. What do we got going with Reggie's irons, though? Yeah, because Reggie kind of turns. But maybe I don't have them angled up that high. It's very important that I get this right before I try to start. Crying. What? Oops. Oh no. Back to the corner. Slides down wall. Turns. Tries to get away. Grabbed. Alright. So I was gonna have a cut there. But now that we're on to this, I kind of like what we got going. I kind of want Reggie to get, like, dragged off screen. Or do I really... Do I do this to myself, or do I create another scene where maybe it's just like a close-up of Reggie's face? Actually, guys, let's play around with this idea that I have. We'll see how we like the next scene. If we don't like it, then I won't draw where we see Reggie get drug out all the way. But if we have Reggie get pulled all the way out of the scene, to me, it just feels like we need to have one more scene before it would end. And maybe it would just be like focused just on Reggie's face as we see like the box, like him get pulled out of the box. I can't show you guys what I mean. Create new scene. So it'd be more like we put him center to really put attention on Reggie's fear. And then what we would have going in the background is just like it's Reggie's shoulders in here. So if Reggie's facing, okay, this is what we have to figure out though. So Reggie's facing, I kind of want Reggie like looking towards the dude. That's the only thing. So maybe like, so as Reggie gets pulled out, so let's see, Reggie's about here in the scene. Maybe we've got like thumb holding here. Because if we go to the next scene and suddenly Reggie's facing towards, because it's almost going to be POV of the dude that's pulling Reggie out of the box, it wouldn't make sense if Reggie's suddenly facing. Because if Reggie's looking, Reggie's almost backwards as he's getting pulled out of the box. So that's not necessarily a problem. I just kind of like the idea of it like the background's disappearing behind Reggie that you see, rather than like we're just seeing the back of Reggie's head. Like I want to see like Reggie's face. Let's pull out. Okay, I made Reggie a little too big there. Because I just feel like the reaction of Reggie is what's important. Like, I want, before the scene cuts, I want poor little Reggie to just be horrified. Fingers. Terrible fingers. We're not gonna worry about that. Draw the box in here. Shadows. Bum bum bum. I feel like that works because so it's like he reaches in and then when he grabs the penguin, it's kind of like you pull it back like this, and so your wrist would turn. So I don't think it's unnatural for that to happen. Because right now he's like, so grabs Reggie like this, but then picks up, it'd be a turn, and then the wristband. So I feel like that's accurate. So we're seeing that part of the wrist actually. So the hand would be more, the thumb would be up more actually. We'd get more of a this type of deal. Let me make this darker for you guys to see. Reaches him. So actually the thumb would probably reach past and then turn here and then down, and so then we're seeing this part of the hand here, but Reggie fits in there. So, and then in terms of the fingers, I'll have one flipper up. The fingers are gonna wrap around. Well, I have to imagine if Reggie was in my hand and he was about the size of, probably wouldn't be wrapping that around that much because Reggie is pretty round. Reggie needs a lot of padding so Reggie stays warm. Or Reggie used to before Reggie was kidnapped. Which, if you guys haven't seen the beginning yet, because I haven't posted it anywhere, the story is like Reggie's out with his penguin buddies, Greg and Brian, and they're just chilling by a campfire, and then suddenly a helicopter comes in and they get penguin napped by definitely not Amazon for sure. And then they wake up and they're in a box. But then Brian and Greg get taken away, and then here we have Reggie, who's the only one left. And then we're seeing Reggie get grabbed. So the penguin I got for Joe, he really wanted it because another streamer had it. And so I got for his birthday. And then, you know, like slowly lore just started to build. Okay, I got an idea, guys. What if we just yeah, so we started to build like lore for the penguin, and I made like emotes. It became Joe's mascot for his stream. And then one thing led to another. Here I am, like I've done album covers with the penguin. Like I've drawn Reggie a lot of times. The character is definitely developed over the years, but it's now in like its finalized stages. And so Reggie, I wanted to make like animatics that would be the story of Reggie. And so I have it all written up, like the whole origin story plot, and then I broke it into sections that'll be like around a minute each, so I can post them as like shorts and reels. And then eventually I'll stitch them all together. So this is part 2. But ideally the story is Reggie was living a happy life. Reggie gets kidnapped by not Amazon, something similar for sure. And then I ended up getting, like, I know we all shouldn't support Amazon, but where else are we gonna buy, okay? So I bought Reggie for Joe off of Amazon. And yeah, so that's kind of like what's happening here. I purchased Reggie, and that's why he's getting ripped out of the box. And somebody else bought the other penguins, so that's why they left. And then the next part is where Reggie shows up on the doorstep and arrives just in time for me to wrap him up and give him to Joe for his birthday. So the story goes from Reggie, where he lived in the South Pole, to here in the the storage. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Whatever, like the storage facility. And then Reggie gets taken out. Reggie gets shipped. Reggie shows up the door, and then there'll be a whole like episode of me. I sewed like clothes for Reggie, so I want to incorporate that into the like story. And I'm gonna make it like kind of scary because like Reggie's gonna just show up. Reggie's not used to humans. And like I stick Reggie on my shelf, and I remember like measuring the penguin, drafting clothes for it. And so poor Reggie won't know what was happening. I'm like trying to make it like POV. Reggie wasn't just a stuffed animal, but Reggie was real. And so yeah. And then from there, like Reggie will get stuffed back into a bag and Reggie won't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden Reggie's gonna hear people singing happy birthday. And that will be the very last one of the Reggie origin stories. And then after that, any more of the Reggie stories I do are going to be like Reggie side quests. So they're going to be about like stuff Reggie did with Joe. I haven't written any of those, but that's kind of like the main plan. So yeah. So we get Reggie, turns, tries to hide, gets ripped away. Yo, what happened here? Why'd that feel so awkward? I think it's because the shadow disappeared. I'm not going to worry about the shadow. I'm going to put that in later on a separate layer. But honestly, I think if I just pay attention to the hand, it's all right. So now Reggie's facing the proper way. When we go to the next scene, yo, our music stopped. One more time. When we go to our next scene, we're getting like Reggie POV. Like center stage, we got Reggie here. And I also can turn on, hold up, let me find the camera. I need to turn on rule of thirds. Here we go. I normally have this turned on, but I forgot to. You have to turn it on manually for each camera, so like each scene. Kind of annoying, a little bit tedious. I think at some point the guy who made this add-on will probably add a feature where you can just turn it on a lot easier. And he may have already added, I just haven't updated my add-on. But I'm hoping that's something he adds. Because I feel like most artists want to have that. Like, we always work with our grid up. Okay. So we're getting like Reggie's little arms. The hand's kind of holding like this. I think I made Reggie a little too wide. Sorry, Reggie. There we go. And then in terms of the background, we're gonna get like the box back here. Maybe something like that for the first scene. And then we're gonna get further away. Something like that. Then we need to add an in-between one. Let's add an in-between. New frame. So if it's like that. Maybe like this. Maybe here. 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 Let's move it down a little. Actually, we need to draw in the bottom of the box. A little like that. Oh, hold up. That was a weird angle. This needs to be smaller. Boom, boom. I actually think this needs to be more like that. And this will be the box. It's important that I get that. And there are technically other boxes. Maybe I just cut it here because I think three is usually a good number. Let's play this out. Maybe on like, oh, I didn't have it play that slow. What if, while we're pulling Reggie out of the box, we have the camera zoom in? So we're like getting a pull out / zoom in just to kind of disorient people a little bit. Let's do that. Keyframe. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Oh, what did I do? I don't know. Okay, I'll just do it manually. Okay, there. At the end, track position here. And I can pull the track out more. I'm just gonna do it. I got an idea too. What if we separate the layers? Let's separate the background. And then we'll have like Reggie slightly expand. So it looks more like Reggie is moving on a different plane. So let's see, copy. Paste. Okay, so this one will not have the background. This one will not have Reggie. This one will have Reggie. And so as it pulls, Reggie. Okay, I need to add, oh my gosh, I haven't done this in so long, guys. Insert keyframe. How do I do? I used to know this. Okay, I need to go to object mode. That's what. Object mode. And then I grab the layer I want. I hit Control A. No. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on how to do this. Let's see if anybody in chat know how to do this. I want to expand the size of the grease pencil layer. But I know I have to, so I'm in object mode. I have the object. Insert keyframe. Do I just insert it and then expand it? And then insert another one? Oh, I think I did it actually. Let me check the dope sheet. Yep. So this is Reggie, I assume. Nope, this is the camera's movement. This is Reggie expanding. Yeah, that I like. And then it would cut. Okay, let me name this layer Reggie. Background. All right. We've got, let's run it back. Single scene playback. Let's start from the beginning. Not in this mode. Hold up. Drink some tea. Once again, ignore this scene. That needs slowed down. Why is everything outlined? Oh, that's why. I think I need to change their eye direction there. They're not looking quite in the right places when they do those motions. Who could it be? I'm in the ladder. Oh no. Bum bum bum. Brian, no. No, Brian. Reggie is devastated. Reggie's crying. I hate that it's like every scene I have it selected some reason. Hand reaches in. No. Reggie tries to get away. Reggie turns. Reggie gets grabbed. Reggie's screaming. And cut. Honestly, I like the new ending a lot better. It didn't feel complete before. So this is the scene. Is it because I have it locked? There's supposed to be a way to reorder the scenes, but I think I broke something. And it won't let me reorder anymore. Because it's supposed to go here. Or maybe I just cut it entirely. I don't know. I thought of adding like there, so it'd be this scene that comes right after he climbs the ladder. Then it would be in between here, and you would hear like the footsteps on the ladder, and the scene like shakes a little. So I mean, I don't have to do it, but it's kind of like a thought I had that could have been. We'll see if it makes the last cut. I don't actually like. They look like they're drawn different. I might just cut it entirely. Like, do we need it? I don't know. Is there a way to get rid of this space in between? Plus, I don't want to mess anything up. Which I may have just done. I'm gonna cut it all in, oh shoot. Is that correct? Yeah, it ends there. I don't know. Maybe I'll like close the file, see what happens. You might put it back in order for me. If not, I literally just backed up. Well, I wouldn't have today's work, but I backed up. What day was that? Sunday? Oh, it's back in place. Everything looks fine. Cool. Well, everybody, it is almost 5 o'clock and it is time for me to start helping cook dinner. So we're kind of a little early. We're not doing recipe artwork, but I'm so hungry. I'm kind of glad because I am ready to eat. So, you know, gotta eat when I'm hungry, and I'd be hungry right now. So, and it's a holiday, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking nonsense. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow, which is Friday. Honestly, we'll be doing pretty much the same thing. Children's book, well, warm-ups, character design warm-ups. them children's book. We'll work on that, and Reggie again as we kind of work out these final scenes. I think I'm gonna add more frames to that last one before I do like the cleanup sketches, and then hopefully have enough time to work on the recipe. And then after that, I'll be back again the following Wednesday. So until next time, guys, which is tomorrow, I'll be seeing you. Bye, everyone.